Welcome back to Buckmore Park. Jnr Max up next, and earlier I spoke to the team principal from KR Sport, Ashley Orchard, whose driver Harrison Thomas leads this class. I started by asking him who he thought would be Harrison's main competition this season.
I think we've got a couple of drivers. I think you've got DHR's Tom Gamble and you've got Jack McCarthy from Strawberry. At the moment, them two kind of highlight themselves as potential title threats. But I think for various reasons, at the moment they've not massively challenged us, but definitely a turn of form might change that.
Okay, and I'm asking all the team managers the same question this weekend. You've been around Super 1 for a long time. Obviously, consistency is always what people say is the key to winning Super 1. What are some of the other things that you need to pull together as a team, as a driver, to win this championship?
I think the equipment has to be good, of course, but I think it's actually the workshop stuff. I think the preparation in the week, the amount of effort that we put into the equipment. I think the drivers have to train away from the racetrack, and I think they have to be focused. I think age can come into it. I think kind of each driver kind of comes of age where it's the right time for them to win. And I think you've got to put everything together. Consistency is massive. You can't be failing to finish races. You've just got to have everything. To win a championship, you've got to tick all the boxes, and that's what we try and do, and all the other teams in the pits are trying to do as well.
So time for the battle to resume then in Jnr Max. Dean McDonald and Oliver York on the front row. We'll be hearing that a lot in the future. Zach Falk and Jordan Brown-Nutley on row 2. Harrison Thomas, the O-plate, and Jack McCarthy on row 3. Keep an eye in the midfield. Josh Skelton starting P11 should be a hard charger in this race. And looks like we could get a few surprises from Miles Apps too in P28 on the grid. Just before the start, Alan managed to catch up with the man on the front row, Oliver York.
Oliver, you came from 20th in that pre-final there, final one. Televised final now, starting off P2. Teammate alongside, looks like. How are you fancying this one?
Yeah, last race was a brilliant race for me, despite the bad luck yesterday. Really good race for the last one to come to second from 20th, and hope for good things in the final.
Okay, well, good luck.
So time for the race to get underway, and we are racing. Who's going to get to the first corner first? Well, we're on board with Jack McCarthy. Looks like McDonald has held the lead in the first part of the lap, but up to 4th place has come Jack McCarthy, right on the back of Harrison Thomas, the O-plate, and it's McDonald out in front. York is now down to 3rd position by the look of it. That darker suit. In fact, no, where is Oliver York? He's way down the order. We're on board with McCarthy once again. I think York is down in about 5th. Yes, he is. So York has lost quite a lot of places then off the start. Obviously, that outside line, he's not got the best of getaways this time, but it's Dean McDonald out in front. Up to 3rd position, as we know. That's the O-plate of Harrison Thomas. So they come to the end of the first lap, and it's McDonald from Falk, Thomas, the championship leader, McCarthy, our on-board cameraman, York, Brown-Nutley, Gamble, Kirkpatrick, Hoggard, Skelton, McRoberts and Smith, and we're on board with McCarthy once again as he closes up on Thomas. Championship leader's going for Broker up the inside. He gets past Falk, and so too does McCarthy. Cracking overtake there, and look at that, the O-plate defending on the inside line to avoid McCarthy coming through, but it's actually brought him right onto the tail of McDonald again, so very smart thinking there from the O-plate, Harrison Thomas. That's why he's the leader of the championship, of course. He's been very good at this all season long. He's very tactical. He doesn't just banzai at the inside and hope for it, and that was the move from McCarthy as up the inside there. That's the 3 of Gamble making up a place or two. On board with McCarthy, and that is McDonald in front, so it looks to me as though Falk has lost quite a bit of time. Thomas is down to 3rd place now because, of course, McCarthy is now right on the tail of Dean McDonald, and what a battle this is turning out to be. Into the second hairpin. Now, do you want a Days of Thunder moment? Turn up the volume and sit back. That's the sound of karts flashing past the camera with literally millimetres to spare. Fantastic stuff. Zach Falk now in 5th position because he's been overtaken by the 17 now. So up to 4th has come Jordan Brown-Nutley. He's always been a factor this weekend, but in the televised final, he wants to be on the podium. He wants to walk away with a nice bit of silverware to drink the champagne out of. Down the straight and into the hairpin. Nice move up the inside from McCarthy. He hits the front. Dean McDonald has got to find something in response here, and this is what it's like out in the lead of a race. Very nice indeed. My word, that is close, isn't it? Literally almost knocking the helmets against the camera as they flash past the S is there onto the left-hander. Oh, running out of road. That's a bit of a moment, but fortunately the O-plate, Harrison Thomas is able to get away with that one, but Gamble has decided that that's his opportunity to move through as well. So down to 5th place has gone the O-plate, and McDonald has hit the front once more. So McCarthy now trying to get back up the inside. There's no room at all for manoeuvring. Oh my word, McDonald doing absolutely what he needed to there to shut the door. No sunshine, you're not getting past there. Try somewhere else. And McCarthy has another look. Off the second hairpin, into the left-hander at the S's, flashing past. And this is how close the battle is further back. Drop a blanket over the top of the field, and there is nothing to choose between them. Magnificent racing so far, and that is what you get in Super 1. What a move from McCarthy, just banzaiing again up the inside. He has timed that move to perfection. He is the artist and the masterclass of that one. Magnificent. Up into the lead he goes once more. So McCarthy hits the front, round the outside. I think that's McDonald having another go at him. Did he go right round the outside? No, not quite. But up the inside now, the 17 has come through to second. Make that first. Brown Nutley hits the front of the race, and through to second place has come Zach Falk. We're on board with McDonald, who's now third, and McCarthy is fourth. And that was McDonald we were looking at. Through they come. This is a stunning shot. Well done to Alan Tadei for a little bit of bravery. Well, one man's bravery is another man's insanity, but what a shot. And up the inside, beautiful overtake for McCarthy, and Gamble gets through as well. So that's back in a third position for McCarthy. McDonald is down to 5th. And oh, a little bit of a moment there. Zach Falk tried to have a look at Brown Nutley, runs wide. McCarthy says, thank you very much. And have you noticed there is moisture on the camera? It has started to drizzle a little bit here. Up the inside comes McDonald. McCarthy waits on the mid-apex and kind of lets him through almost. Well, that's a bit of a strange move, but up to second place comes McDonald as they charge through the S's one more time. Great battling in the mid. Oh, Scott Simons very close indeed to getting a muller into the wall there. Let's have a look again on replay. He gets very close to Falk and McRoberts, and he just kisses the barrier. That was so close. Just consider that when you're accelerating out of that hairpin, at that point out of the hairpin, you're probably doing about 25-30 miles an hour. That doesn't sound much, but when you're a couple of millimetres off the ground and you come face to face with a tyre wall, trust me, you get a headache to last a fortnight. Jordan Brown Nutley still out in front, got a good gap on Dean McDonald. It's up to him and the chasing pack to eat into that deficit now. McCarthy in third, fourth is Gamble, 5th position. That looks like the O-plate again of Thomas. Just consider how fast that actually is. If you've ever done corporate karting before and you think karting is fast, they're doing about 55 to 60 miles an hour through that one part of the circuit. Now, if you consider power to weight ratio, you're talking Formula 3 racing level. That is absolutely astonishing. Through the final turn once again and onto the Sisley straight. Jordan Brown Nutley, he's got an incredible pace over this at the moment. McDonald second, from McCarthy, Gamble, Thomas. And up to 5th position, it looks like Thomas is about to lose that place. He does indeed. Here comes the 30. Through into the position is York. He's finally got himself back into position in the top 6. And now he is charging for the podium. Oliver York, very talented young racer, and he's got a great future in front of him, provided the right backing continues to push him forward. Now the field is catching up to the leader. Up comes York again. Great move. Took that at the last possible moment into the apex and just stuns Gamble into silence there. Beautiful move. So Brown Nutley, McDonald, McCarthy, and now Oliver York is up to 4th position again. I suppose if he continues to banzai from the front to the back to the front, you could start calling him Yo-Yo Yorkie. But through the hairpin section they come again. McDonald from McCarthy, just behind Brown Nutley. Look at the drizzle on the camera lens. It's going to get very slippy out there. And that's contact. Sam Kirkpatrick has gone around. I think it was the O-plate he tangled with. It looked to me as though Thomas just ran a tiny bit wide on the exit of the hairpin, and Kirkpatrick went, that's my opportunity. Sadly, it wasn't. Dean McDonald right on the back of Jordan Brown Nutley now. Here we go, game on, and Jack McCarthy has come along for the roller coaster ride too. Through to the Sisley straight. Here we go, a lap of the circuit through Conways. And that's a black and white flag being handed out to the 41. That's Rory Hudson. As into the lead goes McDonald. Times it perfectly into the first hairpin. Second hairpin. And he defends nicely. Brown Nutley is there. And up to third has come Oliver York. So York has got past McCarthy. what an orchestra of sound and dynamicism. Beautiful stuff from the Super 1 drivers out there. Up the inside, Jordan Brown-Nutley hits the front. McCarthy's there on the inside as well. Now it's kicking off as Oliver York tries to get himself in there as well. And McDonald pushes his way through. McCarthy's down to 4th behind Oliver York now. Here comes Jordan Brown-Nutley up the inside. There's contact and he's nudged him wide. Brown-Nutley's through. York is through. McDonald is still there in 3rd position. Up the inside, he comes to 2nd to 1st. Cracking move there from McDonald. Let's look at that again. Jordan Brown-Nutley, look, he makes a move on the inside. Oh, it's the tiniest of gaps, and McDonald gets a nudge. He won't be happy with that one at all, but he manages to get it back together around the outside, and now he's back into 3rd position because York has gone through into 2nd. Make that 3rd as McDonald goes through. Here comes Gamble. The O-plate's in there as well. Fantastic from Harrison Thomas. What a recovery drive from him. Brilliant stuff. This is what the drizzle does to Buckmore Park. It throws an extra bit of interest into the race, and Jordan Brown-Nutley is given a black and white flag for driver error there. That must be for that move on the first corner with Dean McDonald. The stewards were not happy about that one. We're on board with McCarthy, and that is Josh Skelton just in front of us through the S's once again, and it's tough to tell who's going to take this one, but out in front right at the moment it is Jordan Brown-Nutley. He holds that lead again. He does not want to hold on. He doesn't want to lose this one. Up the inside, Gamble tries for York. Very nicely done. Oh, no, it isn't! Oliver York gets clouted and spun around. Oh, there was no margin for error, and he's right in the middle of the circuit with everybody trying to come around. And he manages to recover, but he's lost so much time. That's the win gone. Let's have a look at this on the inside of Damon Hill again. Up the inside, Gamble's got the space, he's got the room, he's on the curb, he's got through, he's actually in front at this point. York just keeps his foot in. I think that was actually a mistake from Oliver York, not from Gamble. Now that is interesting. What are the stewards going to make of that one? Because Gamble and York did come together and York came off worse. So interesting to know what the stewards will do about that one. But from my point of view, Gamble had the inside line. He got through, he gave him the space, and he made the pass. We're into the last lap, but that's going to be an interesting debate. Jordan Brown-Nutley no longer leading this one. It's Dean McDonald who's hit the front. Jordan Brown-Nutley trying everything, and look, under investigation, Tom Gamble. Jordan Brown-Nutley trying every trick in the book to move back into the lead. Jonathan Hoggett fastest lap. It's not going to make a blind bit of difference to this race though, as across the line it's just Dean McDonald. How close was that? Fantastic stuff. Ling is the leading rookie, but McDonald beats Brown-Nutley by 0.05 of a second. McCarthy 3rd, Thomas 4th, Gamble excluded from the results. So Skelton is 5th from Hoggett. Apps is 7th. He made up 21 places. Lamb in 8th made up 13. Hudson made up 15. Simons was 10th. And down in 15th place, Davis made up 14. No podium interview, sadly, due to a technical issue with the audio, but Harrison Thomas and Jack McCarthy tied on the championship lead with 5:41. Senior Rotax is up next.